What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? Thanks, Fishing for RC Cars. I appreciate it, buddy. How's it going, Dan? Bobo, how's it going, bud? The hobby shop is always a great place to be. Always a fun time to go there. You always end up spending all kinds of buying on things you did not plan on getting originally, though. I'm doing great today. Pretty nice day out, but got a few things. Actually, I got a lot of stuff broken right now. The last couple days I've been out down at the motocross track and some stuff, and out in the woods, and I've broken quite a bit of stuff. Some stuff I don't have parts for just yet. I'm waiting. The Typhon 6S is still busted. The Kraton 8S is busted. Any of you guys that's seen any of the clips on Instagram knows what happened to the... sorry. Hold on a second. I was sitting here looking. Anyway, sorry. Any of you guys have seen any of the stuff on Instagram, if you guys are on there or not. But anyway, the Kraton 8S took a full-speed, full-send header into a steel pole that was concreted into the ground down at the motocross track. And needless to say, the steel pole won. It actually didn't do too much damage, surprisingly. It took a header into the pole, but honestly, it didn't break too much. I got a front shock rod that's bent. It actually snapped the front hinge pin. It did not break the A-arm, which honestly completely blew my mind. It didn't break the A-arm, but it busted the front hinge pin, bent the front shock, and also broke the front rear hinge pin holder. They're kind of different on the Kraton 8S. They don't have one solid aluminum piece. They have two like little teardrop shaped aluminum pieces that mount into the plastic, and it actually completely just ripped and ovaled the one out. But I'm more surprised that it didn't break the A-arm, because that's kind of the common thing on these things. Yes, Dan, I think the hobby shop did. Every time I walk in there, they kind of just sit there and lick their lips, I think, anymore, because they know I'm going to buy something. It never fails. What's going on, Dirty Boys RC? How's it going, buddy? Three Sons RC, how's it going? I always enjoy myself, and that's what this is all about. I go out there and just have fun and do my thing, and, you know, I try to record stuff the best I can for everybody, but I'm just out there having fun and doing what I would normally do, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Anyway, guys, I'll let you guys know real quick what we're working on here today. So, the Big Rock 4S has been down for a little bit because when I had this thing out the last time, I've got some massive error with this thing. And that video got really screwed up, I found out on YouTube. Because it got posted weird. YouTube released it when it wasn't supposed to be posted. And then when I actually posted it, it never got, I don't think anybody ever got any notifications on it, which is really weird, because it was like a week ago. And I know usually the Big Rock everybody loves seeing, but yeah, the old Big Rock video there has not been seen by many, actually. But this thing got some massive air down at the motocross track. Anyway, I broke the front bulkhead on it. So the front bulkhead finally came in. So we're going to change out the front bulkhead on this thing. And then hold on, I don't know if I hope Earl Moorhead isn't in here. If you watch this, many of you will cringe when I say this. However, my Kraton 6S has got differential issues. I had it out at the motocross track 2 days ago, and the thing was running great. I was running it on the new 120C 6S LiPo I got. The thing was ripping, running great, and all of a sudden I just lost one back wheel. You guys can see, I'm hoping this is all. However, as you guys can tell, that's not normal. Now, this side is still working normal, and so is the front. So I am thinking that maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, all I did was break the pin behind the sun gear. And it's just free spinning in there now. Don't know, but we're going to tear it open here also and find out what's going on with that. I was waiting to start hearing a grinding noise or something, but it didn't happen. It's just free spinning in there, so it might be an easy fix, hopefully. What's up, Tegrity RC? Just checking out, see if I'm missing any comments here. Anyway, guys, so we're going to work on the big rock here first. This is a nice, easy fix to start off with. Get the new bulkhead on this thing so we can finally get the big rock back up and running. This thing has been a blast running this thing on 4S. And it's been fun. But I haven't even got to drive it, so I finally put new shock oil in this thing. I put, I think 70 weight. I think I put 70, or 60 or 70. Yeah, it was 70. I put 70 in the back and 60 in the front, I believe, with the new hot racing shocks. And I'll bring you guys overhead so you can see the car. You don't have to see my mug. But anyway, yeah, I put 70 weight in the back and 60 in the front on this thing with the new hot racing shocks. And these shocks have been working out really nicely. I've been really happy with these things so far. And the new suspension now, I'm hoping this works out pretty good. It feels really nice. So hopefully, it holds pretty good. Holds up pretty good on the jumps. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's honestly been the EXB that has been the problem child with differentials. You know, my V4 honestly hasn't given me that many problems, but I'm hoping this isn't the start of a new trend, I can tell you that, because it was ripping, it was running great. It just, something happened in there, and that just, I lost that weird drive, and it was it was running really weird, because just that one back wheel not spinning, the thing was a donut monster, I'll tell you that. They would spin donuts like crazy. Now I got this screw stripped off in this front bulkhead, and it doesn't want to come out. I've had this happen numerous times on these things. It's like you can kind of get it to start to come out, and then it just starts free spinning in there in the plastic. There we go. But anyway, if I can get that thing out of there, holy cow. Well, that thing don't want to come out of there. Jeez. Screws out of there, I know that. So what's everybody else up to today? Been out having any fun? Wow, guys, that thing has like become one with the shock tower. We're gonna try a different method. There we go. Jeez. That thing didn't want to come out of there. Not even that. Not that boogered up or anything, so I'm not sure why that thing was being such a problem. Anyway. Hot hoopty something. Rain day. Rain days are always no fun. Yeah, I'm finally home from work for a little bit, actually. So, obviously I'm kind of excited for that. We've been quite busy over the last few months, and I have been gone quite a bit. Been bouncing around, but I'm off for at least the next week, I believe, if all goes as planned. I'm hoping to make it down to a skate park or the BMX track sometime this week or this weekend. Trying to make it down there. And I'm going to try to take out, got a bunch of some people asking me recently about it. I think I'm going to take out, kind of make it a 3S day. I'm going to take out the big rock. Uh-oh, where'd the other, there it is. Lost one of the balls for the shocks. But I think I'm going to make it like a 3S day. I'm going to take out maybe the Typhon 6S, the big rock, and probably take, not the big rock, but the granite, and kind of make it 3S, maybe 4S day. We'll take the Kraton 4S and stuff like that, and take out some of the other cars that I haven't been having out quite as much lately. But I haven't had the granite out in quite a while, and somebody mentioned it to me, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Haven't had that thing out in a good bit. Been kind of messing around so much with the 6S and the 8S stuff that I haven't paid much attention to the old Big Rock. I keep saying Big Rock. Every time I take out the Big Rock, I say granite half the times. When I take out the granite, I say Big Rock. I think you guys know what I mean. So I don't know if anybody noticed anything in the background there that's rather large and blue. That's right, fishing. Yeah, I remember somebody was on there mentioning about that. I couldn't remember in the comments. Apologize. I read and try to answer back every comment and talk with everybody. Sometimes I don't remember who said what sometimes. I apologize. Dude, I used to snap these 3S chassis left and right when I did. And, well, I'll say this. Every time I take these things to a skate park, I always end up breaking a chassis. Because I start doing stupid stuff with them that I shouldn't be doing. And I know better. Wow, that screw is in there. It's completely rounded out. Well, that's not going to be much fun. I'm going to have to drill that head off of that thing and... A Smurf? No, I don't have a Smurf in the background. We have two blue things in here now. And this is the new... Any guys that stop by to watch this, I got to put a video together, but we're going to do the speed run thing a little differently. And we're going to get pretty crazy with it, I think. Well, I know what system's coming for it. You know, I do have a plan together for that. Decided what I've got ordered for that thing now. So, I'm hoping with the system that's going to go in that, we should be able to hit the, I don't know, 130 area mark, I'm hoping. I got to drill the head of this screw off because it's so stripped out. But I don't even know how it got so stripped out either. The only thing I'm hoping is that there's enough left inside for me to grab a hold of this thing. But bring you guys this direction for a little bit. I just realized I was showing you that car and I had the tiny little picture up. Anyway, you guys probably seen it anyway. However, so we got the Limitless. And this car is awesome looking, I'll tell you that. But the plans are, I have a Castle Max 8 with the 1650 motor coming for this thing. Haven't decided on a servo. I have a cheaper servo in there at the moment. However, I'm not sure what I'm going to put in, if I'm going to put it in later down the line. Yeah, I can see how this is definitely going to get expensive, doing the Limitless and building this thing. But that's pretty much what it's going to turn into at the moment, is kind of a build car. I do have, because I just want to take it out for a run, I have a brand new Firma 6S ESC and a brand new BLX 2050 motor that I'm going to put in there until my Castle stuff shows up, that I'm going to throw in it and take it out for a little rip around and just see what it does. Just have some fun with it mainly. What's up, Alden? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, Limitless is going to look pretty nice. I can't wait to get that thing fully up and operational. It's kind of killing me having a car sit there that I don't have electronics in it. I guess that's the only fun part about the RTR is at least you can just pull it out of the box and go rip on it. So, it's making me grow patience, I guess. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm learning the skills for the speed stuff, too. I've never been a speed run person. When we started with the Typhon 6S, running that thing, I'm kind of having fun with it. And with having access to the runway that I take it to, I got to be careful when I go there, but I got a nice, perfectly straight, flat, long runway to zip them down. And I just kind of want to see, you know, have something fun like that occasionally. Yes, the Castle 1717 1650, the Max 8, is on its way. It's on back order, but it is on its way. I found some stuff, but I'm trying to get everything from my local hobby shop. You know, I bought the car from them. I don't know why I'm taking these pins out the bottom. But I'm trying to get everything from my local hobby shop. So it was on back order for like a week for them, or a week and a half for them to get them in. But I ordered it from them because gotta support the local hobby shops, guys. Yeah, I know a lot of people out there, when you start losing your local ones and you can't just run down the road to get some parts, you know, it's worth paying sometimes or waiting a little bit of time to get stuff, to at least have those places like that around. I don't know how many times I've broken stuff and hopped online and nothing was on online, couldn't find anything there, called up the local hobby shop and they had it in stock, or vice versa where they didn't. But the only times I usually try to get stuff online is if the local hobby shop's not going to have it, and it's something that I'm in dire need for, that I want to get immediately, that I can get in a day or two ordering it online. But most of this stuff I try to get from my local place down there, Playthings, etc. Because those guys are great down there too. Alright, so we got the busted old bulkhead off the front. Didn't break it too bad. I mean, it just snapped off one ear of it. One side of it just completely sheared off, so at least the whole chassis didn't break this time. That was promising. Well, I appreciate you tuning in, Christian. Even though you probably can't hear me right now. But I know. Yeah, the Limitless was my first speed car too, obviously. I was really looking around because I don't know if any of you guys watch out and Cost it's in here right now. He's got an awesome felony, and I was really considering getting one of those, but I decided I was going more towards just the straight line, go fast type of thing, and I figured the Limitless, I don't even know that much about speed stuff. I'm learning as I'm going, but it seems like it would be a better thing for that type of running. If I was wanting to go out and street bass and drift and do stuff like that, I would have definitely went with probably the felony or even the infraction. But I figured the Limitless, nice aerodynamic, looks like it's going fast when it's just sitting there car, so it should be, hopefully it works out good. Alright, well, we're going to get the screws. I got to get quick change bits for this thing. I was at another hobby shop in some other city I was at, and they actually had the quick change bits for the MIP, and I almost got them, and I left the hobby shop, and I didn't. And I should have. Because I always wish I had them. It's much easier and nicer to pop in and out. Anyway, somebody asked where the armor bandit came from. I'm sorry, I know I'm delayed here. I just remembered reading it. What's up, Joe Girding? How's it going, bud? Somebody asked about the banner. That came off of Horizon Hobby. I don't know if they have them on there anymore. It seems like a lot of stuff they don't have at the moment on there. But that is where it came from, was Horizon. But we're going to finish up the bulkhead here on the Big Rock. And then we're going to move on to the dreaded differential on the Kraton 8S, or the 6S. And see what happened to that thing. And I'm hoping it's something minor. Yes, the Limitless is looking mighty sharp back there, RC for all. I just want to go watch it run. So you guys might see a premature video with that thing running on 6S. I might put that BLX system in there just to take it out and rip. Because honestly, and tell me if you guys think this is a dumb idea or not, but I was thinking since the Typhon, you know, we knew the Typhon would only would hit 98 mile an hour with that system in there. And with the gearing. And I was kind of thinking about trying basically the same setup, minus the Limitless obviously has the spool and a little differently, but it also has the aerodynamics and everything else. And I was thinking about seeing what the Limitless would hit with a stock BLX system in it, with just messing with the pinion gear, with gearing it up. Now I know it's obviously going to probably cut out the same way that it did on the 6 on my Typhon. But I was thinking about just testing it out while I waited for my castle stuff to show up. So, kind of thought it might be a fun idea. I don't know. Well, Mendez, the Kraton 4S isn't even available anymore. They said they're going to be re-releasing them. They're supposed to be releasing a new version of it, supposedly sometime this summer, I believe. If anybody else has any updated information, please chime in here. The last I heard, they were originally supposed to be releasing a new 4S line, but I don't know for sure if that's still happening. So, but as of right now, there's not really the Kraton 4S. It's not really, it's discontinued. Is the easiest way to say it. But if I was still going to go buy the two, I would definitely buy the Big Rock. And then, if you want to, put the 4S in the Big Rock. This thing has been an absolute blast since running it on 4S. Why is this thing not wanting to go in there? Goofy. Always love it when the phone starts ringing when I'm on here. But anyway, yeah, I would just do the Big Rock for sure. I mean, this thing is a tank. It holds up to a lot of punishment. It's tough. It handles great. It jumps nice. And they're not discontinued, so that's definitely another plus. Yeah, I don't know if I'm hoping they're going to actually re-release a new version of that. You know, if they could make that Kraton 4S, because any of you guys have seen, and you that was asking about, what's up, Brad J? Yes, I'm going to show this one more time. Yes, Brad, that is a Limitless, you spy. I wasn't going to leave it in the background. It might be stupid, but video will be up in a few days, but the unboxing and stuff of this thing. But figured anybody that's coming by to join me today for the live stream, you could definitely check it out. But yes, we got the Limitless, and we're going to make it go fast. Plan is to definitely would like to see 130 plus out of it. Would be cool. I was talking with Alden in here, Alden Cost, about it, and with different stuff and getting some suggestions from him. Any guys that ain't subscribed to him, definitely go check him out, guys. I mean, the stuff, he has really good channel bashing videos. He custom makes a bunch of parts and 3D printing stuff and CNC machine stuff. Does a great job with the stuff. Beautiful work. But I was talking with him about different motors and stuff and chatting with people about what to put in this thing or what might be the best bet. And I have decided definitely on the Castle is what I have coming for it. So everybody I talked to says that, the Hobby Wing and the other stuff will have a tendency to cut out and do the same thing that the Firma system was doing, which was, at high torque or high RPMs that basically, it starts cutting out and dropping out. And the Castle stuff doesn't do that. Hopefully mine doesn't catch fire like many I've seen do. I really don't want to see the new Limitless go up in flames. That would be sad. The motor I'm running on the Big Rock is the stock motor. It's just the stock Spectrum, the 3200 kV with a BLX 120 ESC. Honestly, I originally planned was I'm gonna throw the ESC in there, run this thing on 4S. If the motor goes up in smoke, I'll change it out. But I mean, this thing has been running awesome. I mean, the motor hasn't been getting hot. I mean, normal just running temperature is warm. It's not getting exceedingly hot at all. It's been running great. And it's been fun, so I'm just continuing to run it on the stock motor. And when the day comes, and if the day comes that it burns up, I'll change it out then. But the stock motor's still been working awesome in this thing. Got my Red Bull. Every time I gotta have my Red Bull. Yeah, it's a stock motor. Yep. Yeah, I never changed it out. Because I had... Horizon was nice enough that whenever my BLX 120 in my Kraton 4S went up in smoke, I called them, told them what happened, and they said, yeah, okay, we'll send you out a new ESC. And they shipped it out. And he said, you should have it in like 3 to 4 days. I said, all right, well, a week went by. I didn't get it yet. I called them, told them what happened. They're like, oh, we're sorry it got messed up. And then they sent me 2. And I got 2 of them in the mail. So the spare ESC that they sent me is what I threw in here. And it's been a blast. I think it's been so much fun. And these are the stock granite tires. Because I put a new set on this thing. Because the first set I put on this thing, it completely ate them. They'd be exploded. But the new set of granite tires that aren't already beat and lacerated have been working great on this thing. It handles nice. Lots of air control. Thing's great. Yeah, I know, it would fly. I just kind of... It started out as an experiment, honestly. I just wanted to see what this thing was like on 4S and if it was going to start eating drive shafts and everything else, because I don't want to get into that where, it turns into having to completely rebuild the car. I wasn't trying to get into all that. I just wanted to see what it was like on 4S, and so I did that and threw it in there, and it worked out quite nicely. Alright. Well, I gotta find a new screw for the front. One that I had to drill out. Let's see if I can... I got like old little bottles, always filled with thousands of screws. I'm sure I got something in here. I'm really hoping that this, the Kraton 6S here is an easy fix. I'm hoping I don't have to get into gears. But the way that that thing's spinning in the one tire, it really feels like that pin in the background or behind the sun gear broke is what it kind of feels like. But not going to know till we get in there. We're almost done with the Big Rock, and then we're going to rip the diff out of that thing. All right. Oh, well, I'm just going to pull that down because I'm not tearing all that back off of there again. One nice thing, they're all pretty flexible. Now where is, oh, there it is. So I had the Rift out. I finally took the Rift and, well, not finally, the Rift I've had out a few times, but I took out the Everest 10 again and the Rift yesterday to one of our local parks. And I'll tell you what, that thing was a blast. That Rift, every time I take that thing out, I have more and more fun with it. The thing is just a trip. You know, I'm tired of fighting this hole because this bumper on this, you can't fit the screw directly through it. And it's kind of annoying because you got to, like, fiddle with the screw in order to get it to fit through the hole. So I'm just going to finally just drill this hole out a little bit bigger, so I don't have to fight with the front bumper. Yeah, Brad, you know, I have a set right here for the 14 to 17 millimeter hex adapters. I haven't put them on yet, and I haven't decided what tires to put on there. I do want to do that because I know it'll give you a lot more air control, and I know they're pretty much really some backflipping monsters with those. I see some people put the Pro line. I don't remember which ones they were now, but a set of the Pro lines on there, and man, they just tons of air control with those things on there. And Brad, I don't know if you're asking about what broke on this, but I just busted the front bulkhead on the Big Rock when I was down at the motocross track, airing this thing out down there. She was flying. I mean, dropping 35, 40 feet out of the sky down onto some of those hard rock areas. It's no wonder, not a gigantic surprise. But, alright, well, you throw in these last two little side screws. I don't even know if I will put those in there, honestly. That side's so stuck. But yeah, the front bulkhead split. So I was just changing that out. So I'm hoping to take this, the Typhon 3S, and the Granite out here for a little 3S bash day / 4S. Alright, well, we got the Big Rock fixed up. So now we can move on to the dreaded rear diff on this thing. You know, if I had a quarter for every time I pulled the rear differential out of one of these cars, probably have like $100. I don't know. A number of times though. Yeah, I don't know, Brad, if you even seen. Did you happen to see the Big Rock video from like a week ago? Because most people didn't see it, from what I found out, because YouTube and the way it got posted completely out of order and kind of messed up. But that's where I broke the front bulkhead on that thing. She was flying. I mean, it had some massive air, but it I think we're going to do this the not fighting it way and just take the rear wing off of this thing. You know, I pulled these out a couple times, especially with the EXB, leaving the rear wing on it. And you can, the wing that's on the Big Rock, that is the, you know what? I think, oh, Yeah, it's the Outcast. It's the Outcast 6S wing. It was a wing I had, I don't know, I ordered an extra one apparently. Well, no, that's right, because I got a new wing I got the wrong wing for the Typhon 6S because it's the only thing the hobby shop had at the time. And then I got the right wing for the Typhon 6S, so I took the Outcast wing that was on the Typhon and put that on the Big Rock. It looks pretty good. I like the look of it. Helps save the body a little bit too, which is nice. You saw it there, Joe D? Good. Yeah, that might be the next thing I think I'm going to do with the Big Rock, though, is get a set of the 17mm rims for that, wheels for that thing, so I can, number one, use my hex adapters on it, and number two, get some different, bigger wheels. I don't want to go too big. I really thought about putting the 4S backflips on it for my Kraton 4S and trying them on there, but I honestly just have a feeling that that's just going to be too much. And I'm going to start snapping drive shafts and stuff, and I'm not really wanting to get into that. Because that ends your run days early, and that's just no fun. And that screw, this is from the center brace. If I can get this. So that's the center screw from the center brace on this thing. And she is quite bent. It's amazing. I mean, that thing takes all the force when that chassis goes to flex. I mean, it takes a lot of punishment, so. Guess that's not a huge surprise. But she is a little bent. I thought these had, no they don't. I thought these had the two. Is everybody off work today? Is everybody at home? Playing hooky? I know this was kind of a weird time to do it, but honestly, I was just wanting to get the cars fixed up so that if I decide to go out tomorrow morning, that they're ready. So I figured I'd bring everybody along while I was messing around. I wanted to get the Typhon 6S fixed up, but as many of you know, parts right now are scarce. I had to actually order the lower front A-arms for the Typhon 6S had to come from the UK. It was the only place that had any left anywhere. I called all my local hobby shops around me, looked on Amazon, of course, and the only place I found a set were on eBay, and it was literally the last ones, at least then when I got these, like, ordered them 4 or 5 days ago. But the only place I found a set was in the UK. So obviously they're taking a little bit of time to get here. But at least I found a set. Of course, probably by the time those show up, there'll be other ones available. Yeah, I guess you couldn't. Well, why don't you just dump the concrete in there dry and let the water mix it up naturally there, Joe. You know, we did that with fence posts. I grew up on a farm, and that's how we used to usually concrete posting all the time. I don't know if it was the right way, but we just fill the concrete with dry concrete mix and let the moisture of the ground basically finish it off. And it actually did work. It always held up pretty good, but I know that's just a post holding up some fence. It's not somebody's basement. It's a little different. I actually lost my sway bar link too. I mean, I was watching Earl's, and he keeps breaking these. I haven't broken any of these yet, amazingly enough. Any of these sway bar links. He said he's been breaking a lot of them, I guess, recently. But he was also just working on his differential, his rear diff on his, I think it was his EXB too. Yes, I'm taking your parts, man. I'm sorry we couldn't get any here. But you guys were the only ones that had some parts. I was wanting to get this Typhon fixed up, because that thing has just been a blast. I had it out once, since getting rid of all of the street stuff off it, putting it back on the dirt, man. I took that thing down to the motocross track, and I mean, that thing just absolutely flew. I put the stock gearing on it. I think the stock pinion was, I think I had the, what was it, 12 or 13 or something like that, tooth pinion come stock on it. And I think I put a 16 on it. I'd have to look at it again, but I think I had a 16 tooth on the front. And with that 120C lipo in there, man, that thing just... The air control was amazing. Even with the stock type tires, that thing was just a beast. Had a ton of fun with it down there. Until the front dug in hard on that jump. And it kind of catapulted it into a front flip, which then I tried to correct. And it didn't work out, clearly. On the Notorious, I'm running the stock. I have not touched the gearing on any of the cars. The only car I have changed the gearing on is the Typhon 6S and I think that's it. In the X-Maxx. I haven't messed around a lot with the gearing because in the past I had so much problems with overheating. The minute that I would start gearing them up and taking them out on the hot days, that I had a tendency to just leave them stock, and that way I didn't have the overheating issues. But the Notorious is stock. I ran that thing on the 120C lipo too, or no, I ran it on the 100C, and that thing was an absolute beast. I mean, that thing was a blast. I can't believe that I haven't been running all of mine this long on the 100 and 120C lipos. I mean, it makes a huge difference. But I was also kind of afraid about ripping stuff apart all the time. And it's kind of what happened here. Well, possibly. I can't say that. It may have just been final wear and tear. And it is a rear differential on an Arma, so it's not a giant surprise. But I mean, this V4 has been treating me very well. Like, this thing has been a tank as far as the diffs go. I haven't had any problems with them. So, or very few problems, should I say. But it was bound to happen eventually. I just don't know if the extra snap of that 120C lipo had anything to do with it or not, but it was fun nonetheless. What's up, RCD? Alright, well, let's see what we got here in the diff. Now this thing I got 3 shims on this. Oh yeah, that input, yep, I could feel it right now. I don't know how you guys ever had. But yeah, this input gear, it's popping in and out. I don't know if there's some piece of it left in there, but it definitely does not feel very good. So, I'll put the car down on the floor here for a moment. Bust out some paper towels, maybe you can see. I usually put down a white towel just so that parts show up better in the background. But, yeah, that don't feel good. None of this feels... Oh, boy. Well, I'm curious to see what's going on inside here because it does not feel very good. Either side of it feel really grindy. Good part is I do have a whole differential and all the pieces inside. So, whatever's busted should be able to fix it. See what we got going on in here. I don't remember if these are the new M2C input cups I put on this or not. I don't remember which one the car I put those on now. Well, I definitely have, it looks like the 1 million or something. I don't know what. Kind of feels like the 1 million weight in there. Probably should lighten that up a little bit. It was kind of part of the experimenting around and playing with different weights. And I haven't done a lot with this differential on this thing in a while. So that one looks fine. It's spinning and doing its normal thing. So now I guess we'll pull each piece out of here and see what we got. Oh, well, I see what it is right now. There's one piece of sun gear. There's another piece of sun gear. Another piece. Another piece. Oh, and look here. Here the pins have come to join the party too. Pins completely shattered apart. Wow. That did quite a number on it. Now I don't know what's stuck in here. This might be interesting. I'm wondering why this isn't coming out. I think a piece of that pin has got to be lodged in there. But I don't know what. I can't really even see down in there that well. Trying to get some of this out of there. Well, there's the shim. I don't know what's stopping that thing, honestly. There's the seal. It's weird because it's like not even at the end. Might have to tap this out and kind of hit it with some sandpaper or something to smooth it back down. But yeah, that's not definitely not supposed to be like that. I'm gonna take a look. I know in a little box here I had, yeah, there's a whole thing, and all my other gears. Probably find the parts we need in there, I'm sure. And I also have a whole new cup, so if worst case scenario, I could just start over if that gets scored up too much. But I would like to get that out of there. Just trying to think of the best way to do it. Let me put this thing in a vise and tap it out the bottom. We'll give that a try. What do I got that might not damage it? I'll try this. Hammer's probably a little overkill, but there it goes. She came out. I don't know why that didn't want to come out of there, to be honest with you. Like, it feels pretty normal. Kind of weird. Like, I don't see any marks or burr sticking out anywhere. I'm not sure if this cup is messed up. I think I'm just going to use this other cup that I have just in case, because I don't want to deal with if that thing's scored or something in there. Take it easy, Brad. Have fun, man. Have fun with the infraction out there. Try not to take it into a curb. Speed and curbs don't go well. I'm going to see what I all got here. So I know I had pretty much everything. I might just kind of start from scratch here, because I'll clean these up and maybe reuse them later. But I'm thinking, since I have all new gears and everything, that I'm just going to do this. That way I know that I'm not putting damaged gears back in there. There's a new sun gear, so that's good. Yeah, I think that's the direction we're going to go here. I'm just going to start over with this. But, man, I don't know what's going on. All right, so this is not fitting in there right. And I can't tell where the problem is. I'm going to try to hit this with a fine sanding block here real quick and see if I can take down whatever is its problem. Pretty soft, so it shouldn't mark it up too much. I'm not sure why this end like this is being so rough to get in there. It's very close. It doesn't look like it's out of round. Not sure, guys. Might have to tap in there. Like, it wants to slide in pretty close now, but it's still off just a tiny bit. Sorry, probably isn't very exciting sitting here watching me sand. Yeah, that'll wiggle in now. Still a little tight, but I don't want to go too crazy on it. Alright, so we got the O-ring down in there. My bearing, there's my bearing. Got to make sure I get the other washer back on this side. At least this way now I'm starting with a fresh Diff cup and I can just fill it up with some different oil and know that it's good. Alright, well, not the smoothest entry in the world, but she did go on there. And it wasn't too bad. I had to give it a few taps there. It's weird though, I don't see why it's being so tight. Now getting these washers to line up right. You know, one thing I didn't, oh, I do, all right. I was going to say, I really hope that I have a pin because I didn't, because that pin obviously is sheared into pieces. Alright, well. The only thing I hate about these Diff cups is the fact that you can't just put the pin in. You got to go at it from the side. And you got to be, kind of definitely take your time doing it too. Alright, so the screw won't go in there, but the pin doesn't want to go in there. There we go. Alright, now where's the hole? That should be it there. There we go. Well, one side of it went in. There we go, finally. Jeez. Oh, the other piece was still in there, too. I wonder if that's what was... You know, guys, I completely forgot to check that. That was stupid. I forgot to check that and make sure that that was out of there before putting this all back together. Or putting the new pin in there. But, there we go. Now we got the new sun gear in there. New cup. Should be happy. Do I know anything about drift cars? To be honest with you, no. I don't. I never really messed around with drift cars. Looked like a lot of fun. I thought about getting one. A friend of mine really wants to get one, and he's kind of debating on what to get. Just slap it full of Jello. Well, we got earplugs. You know, I could do the earplug thing, but I'm not going to do that to it because running this thing, way it's been, I'm going to not put 1 million in there. I think I'm going to put 100K in the back. Mainly because at the moment I have either 100K, 1 million, or silicone earplugs. So I think we're going to go the 100K direction. All right, well, start dropping these back down in here. Hopefully, maybe, what I do with my needle nose is a little twisted. I don't know if I should stick with what was in here already or just do this. And I guess since everything else is new, I might as well put all the new stuff in here. Now, each one of these had the gear, the shim, and then whatever you call these pieces. To be honest with you, I don't even know what these little tapered pieces are. But at least we're starting with all new stuff. For the most part, some of the stuff's the other sun gear and everything else, which I don't, if I had another sun gear, I'd probably just change this one out while I'm in here. But everything feels pretty good. The shimming of the spider gears here feel pretty good. Like, I can't really get any closer. Everything feels nice, spins nice. So I think we're going to go with that. Got a new gasket. I don't know, is there an old gasket on here already? That is. We'll save that one for another day. What would you guys rather watch? The bench or my mug? Put all the, I'm kind of just keeping all the diff pieces. I got to clean that one up before I do too much with it. I'm going to set all this stuff aside and clean that up another day, or probably whenever the next time I break it. I'll have to clean it up and get it back together. I know I have to do something like cannons. It slips too much? What do you mean it slips too much? Like you hearing some grinding noises and stuff like that coming from it? This sun gear looks okay. Hopefully it holds together for me. Man, that sun gear broke apart in 4 pieces, and the pin came apart in 3, which is kind of the normal thing for these. It seems like when they explode, they don't just split in half. They completely blow apart into 4 or 5 pieces. The center diff, yeah, if you're getting a lot of ballooning, too, in the front wheels, I would definitely put something else in there. My Kraton 8S, it's got... I pulled that open because I was going to put silicone earplugs in the center of that thing, and I opened it up and found out that there's already 2 million weight in there. It's like this gray, at least that's what color mine was. It looked like just like gray putty jammed in there, so I left it alone. And that one seems pretty decent. I haven't messed with the center diff on that anymore. It's been working pretty good, so. But yeah, if it's slipping a lot, you might need to change that out. Before I forget the side screw and lose all my fluid. Gotta get that back in there. Wish you were a little bit crooked. Get one more crank. Right, no threads in there as of now, so you gotta kind of start from scratch. Alright, well that feels pretty good. Yeah, I haven't changed the tires on mine yet. I don't know what I want to put. I do want to put some different tires on the Kraton at some point here. I don't know what, because those... honestly, I've never liked any of the copperhead tires on any of the cars. On the 6S, the 8S, they all, honestly, they're kind of garbage. They go out of balance really quickly, and they tend to balloon. As you can see, on all of my 6S cars, I have ended up putting the D-boots backflips on pretty much everything. I like these tires. They hold up pretty decent. So that's what I've always been putting on all mine, but I like to try something different. Split 3 of them in the past 2 years. What, did you split 3 of it in the last 2 years? I gotta let this fluid work down in here a little bit. Try to help it along. Feels nice and smooth at any rate. Hopefully that was just a fluke, and it always seems like whenever you start having an issue sometimes, it turns into just a constant. I think I just have horrible flashbacks and nightmares from the EXB when I first got it. Every time I think of a differential, that's the first car and the first thing that pops into my mind is that EXB. I kind of wanted to loosen this up anyway because I did notice this thing was very squirrely. Like whenever I had the EXB with the locking spool in the back of it, it kind of handled very similar to that. It wasn't very, it didn't handle that great, this thing. So this probably helped that a lot. Tried messing around with different fluids and definitely learning what works and what doesn't work, that's for sure. Alright, well, even the 100K is taking its grand old time to work its way around in here. But it looks like it's getting pretty close. Sometimes I gotta sit for a while. I'm not really interested in letting this sit here. I'm sure you guys don't want to sit here and watch differential fluid settle for the next half an hour. Most of it looks like it's down in there pretty well. Gotta push it down in there a little bit more on some of these other cracks. It looks like it's kind of a little dry. That looks better. Let that settle for just a sec, and I'll get this thing back together and hopefully get this thing back together. Like I said, I gotta wait. All my parts are on order for the Kraton 8S. Kraton 8S, I got those parts on order. They should be here sometime in the next couple of days. It says between next day or two. So hopefully they'll be arriving. The X-Maxx also. Anybody curious about how the Flex Seal has worked out? It was working good for quite a while. And then when I started having some major crashes, as you can see, it's not holding up too good. Definitely, I think as far as, obviously the drywall tape and shoe goo and stuff like that is a little bit more, it reinforces things a little bit better. I mean, I know no matter what on some of these really nasty crashes like this thing had when I had it out yesterday or the day before, it's going to break stuff, but yeah, I gotta get a new X-Maxx body here soon, and I think the next one I am going to drywall tape and do that. But this X-Maxx, guys, has been holding up like a tank, though. It has been a ton of fun. Been having a lot of fun with the X-Maxx. Alright, well, let's get this thing back together. It looks like it's settled pretty decent. Hopefully. Alright, so let me get that thing spun until it wants to sit flush. Now I gotta find the hole again. Because now I completely lost it. Oh wow, I think I actually hit it on the first, well, not the first try, but making sure I get as much of that differential fluid out of those holes in here too. And I talked about that before, but definitely make sure that those holes are not packed full of oil. Because I've had it happen, and you wind those screws in there, and it literally, the screw acts as a piston, and it'll blow a hole in the side of your differential if all that grease is down in those holes, because it's got nowhere to go. I'm going to wind them in there most of the way with the drill. Finish it off with the hand tools here. I gotta get a mouse, I think, over here, so I don't have to reach over there to change cameras. It would make it a little bit easier, but the problem is I got every USB plus one filled on this computer at the moment with cameras and microphones. I'm gonna have to figure out something else to do with that thing. All right. Check these over one more time. The good news is the spur gear on the back looks really good. Looks like with the shimming that I did on this thing, I mean, like it's been holding up pretty good. I mean, the teeth on that thing, it's probably hard to see, but the teeth on that thing still look great. So that's a plus. Feels pretty good. 100K in there feels nice. Gives a little bit of resistance, but it won't be like a locker anymore. That was just a bad idea. Do you have your punch turned up the whole way, I'm assuming, on yours? You know, I'm trying to remember if I changed the gearing on that Kraton at all. I don't think I did. No, I just noticed after turning the punch up on that thing, it made a big difference just on air control. Was the big thing I was going for with actually being able to control that thing in the air, because in the stock form, air control was very poor. So. Alright, well, we're going to get to Diff. What's up, Riff buddy? How's it going, man? I haven't talked to you in a while. We're just, it'll probably seem like nothing changed, Riff. We're sitting here working on a Kraton 6S rear differential. not the EXB style, though, or the EXB day. Blew apart the sun gear on the inside of this thing, and it exploded. Alright. Well, I'm going to work on getting this back in there with my shims before I forget the shims. Don't forget the shims. I'll be doing this all over again. Alright, now the easiest way I find to do this is this way. If you put it in there this way, the shims naturally want to lay on the gear or on the bearing, unless you drop everything, and then, you know, you got that. However, it seemed like I've always had an easier time getting the shims back in there right, setting it on its side like this. It's always like that fine little line of getting your input cups twisted just the right direction. Alright, I think it got it. It's almost there. But they're not really wanting to line up for me too well right now. There we go. Gonna get just that perfect little spot, and everything pops and slides in. Alright. Diff's in there, the shims are in there. Now, Go ahead and get the cover back on the back of this thing. This is always kind of a fun part too sometimes. With trying to get... They're not bad to work on. It's just bad when you got to work on them. Like, they're easy enough to tear apart and do work on. But whenever you're having to do it as frequently sometimes as some of these cars have needed, that has been the unfortunate part. Now, why doesn't this side want to go in there? So the side with my bearing... Ow. The only thing, when you got these things shimmed pretty tight, getting them all to line back up properly can kind of be fun. Then if you get one shim bent slightly, then this rear cap doesn't want to go on. Definitely a little bit of a juggling act trying to get these things in there. Trying to get the shims in the right spot. That's honestly the worst part, is just trying to get the shims back in there and in the proper location. So I think, go ahead and slap a couple screws in this thing. I think it should seat, hopefully. On the X-Maxx, I am running the 2050 gearing. Yeah, the X-Maxx has got the 2050, and it's been working out awesome. Really like that gearing. It's always one side or the other. Come on. I thought it was in there. It's not. One side was just like unseated. There's tiny little tabs at the bottom of this rear thing. Right, can't really see anything from that camera anyway. But trying to get this little cap on the back, I hate the way that there's this little notch at the bottom of it that you got to get it sit in there first. But if the shims aren't lining up, or shims aren't allowing you to fit it in there, it's kind of it's not gonna work anyway. Can't tell if the shims are... The worst part is, like, whenever one of these shims become bent slightly, then you're really not gonna get it to go together. Sometimes you got to kind of spin the shim around to get it to a spot where it's not warped at all. And it's dark. Oh, I see in there. That thing might have to come out. It's almost there. You need to get this other side tapped in here. I understand why this one side is not wanting to go in there. It's not even a side with the shims. Let's see what we get here. The goofy little pin at the bottom, or the little notch, is what seems to be fighting me. Alright, well, it's going to be a pain today, apparently. It wants to fight me. And shim. Sorry guys, I'm gonna concentrate here for a second and try to get this thing lined up in here properly. I don't know why it's giving me such a battle right now. Just doesn't want to go. I think it actually just finally snapped and lined up. That screw lined up. And I don't know if this would be better if I got the aluminum hot racing. There we go. It finally cooperated for me. I know, Riff. Earl's been fighting these discs forever. He just put that Diviton, or I don't remember how you pronounce it, but the aluminum differential case on this. And that's the thing, it's like ever since I put the aluminum hot racing diff cases on the back of mine, you know, I haven't been having any more problems. You know, I put it on this. I just recently put one on the EXB, and I haven't had any, you know, differential problems for a while. And then this one just exploded, but this isn't the normal diff problem. If I was stripping the spur gears and all that again, I'd be like, all right. But this was the sun gear just gave way inside. But I'm hoping, I hope Earl doesn't have any more issues now that he put the aluminum diff case on the back of it, because it has helped mine immensely with those problems, because it just gets rid of all that flex. So the plastic flexes, you know. And some places you want flex and you want plastic, but the diff casing, no. You want all that to stay as, you know, straight and true as possible. And with the aluminum diff cases, it does allow that flex and twist in there. And that's when you skip a tooth, and then they strip off, and then you just run into issues. So, well, I finally got the cap on the back of this thing. All right. Now I'm done fighting with that. I just put the integrity. How does that integrity one? I think I seen a couple of those on some guards. Everything fit up nicely. That they all the machining really good. I haven't used one. I've always been using the hot racing ones just because I don't know. What's what I always end up using. Usually what is available or what I come across at the moment and just order. This thing took some pretty good major hits, should I say, down at the track the other day. I mean, this thing was dropping, and it was not very nice, easy landings by any means. I knew I needed to check over some of these screws because the thing took a good beating the other day. But at least now I'll have 2 more cars fixed up. Now I just got to get the Kraton 8S fixed, and I think that's it now, actually. Oh, and the Typhon 6S, which I really want to take out, but she's down at the moment. If the UK would speed up their shipping, yeah, coming a long distance. Imagine how many different people and hands that package probably had to touch getting here. It's no wonder this stuff takes a while. I don't think the sway bar was adjusted. It seemed like I had a lot more play on that side than I did on this side. That feels better. But yeah, now once the why is that? Goofy sway bars. But yeah, once those parts get here, I can get the Typhon fixed up again. I really wanted to head back down to the BMX track with that thing this weekend, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. Yeah, I thought that's what he said. I couldn't remember if he said that Viviton or Vitalin or whatever it's called, or if it was the Integ. No, I remember him pronouncing it in his video, Integi or something like that. But yeah, you're right. It was the Integi or Integrity, whatever. I think he said it was Integi. I might be botching that up now. I don't know. But yeah, hopefully, now that he's got that in there, his problems drop down on that car, because it's never any fun when you start having just the same problem time and time again, and you don't even get to go out and have fun or actually run the car, and it starts doing the same thing. It just gets old, and at that point it's like, it's not fun. It no longer becomes fun. But a small bit I do of it, a small bit. Yeah, but I had to put 3. Yeah, I mean, I checked this one, the original, when I put it together, whenever I did it the first time, but, yeah, I've just done 3 on the gear side, and it feels really good, like there's no play in there at all. But this is the only one, the EXB, I think I only have 1 or 2 shims on the EXB, but the V4 here, this one I ended up having to put 3 on it. Can't quite grab on that. Get the sway bar cap on here. All right. Now I just got to get the wing mount and the center brace bolts back in here. And coming down the home stretch. Not sure what that bearing's from, but it is definitely blown out. And now I just dropped another thing. Where did it go? What even rolled off of there? See, both of those are there. Swear I heard something hit the ground. Maybe I'm hearing things. I'm sure I'll find out what it was whenever I go to put it back together. All right. Busy day, Alden. How times I don't know what to do with myself when actually being off here for more than a day or two. I got some plans with family and some different stuff be doing here in the next couple days, but at least got here, have a little fun, getting these things fixed up, and head out for a couple bashes. I really want to head down to the BMX track again. I haven't been down there a little while. But it's always scary kind of making the drive down there because, it's a solid hour drive. And then you drive all the way down there only to find out there's, a bunch of people down there, using the track for what it's meant for. But, that's the only thing that's always a bummer sometimes. You drive the whole way down there and it's packed full of people. It's kind of a bummer. So sometimes I get hesitant about driving all the way down to that place. But it's so much fun to go down there. This is the problem. What was crazy on that Kraton, when I slammed it into that steel pole the other day, I blew apart both fans on that poor thing. The motor fan completely split. You know, it has in there that holds basically the center of the shroud of the fan together. The 3 points to connect the fan on. All three of those sheared off. The whole fan fell down inside. The motor fan, I don't know what hit it, because the little grill that covers it, basically to help keep your dust and debris, or chunks, or not dust, but chunks of, you know, major debris out of the fan, half of it ripped off. Fan blades were blown out of it. It was an ugly crash. You know, I mean, that thing was wide open when I hit that jump. You know, launched probably 60, 65 feet. You know, it came to a dead stop into a steel pole. I'm surprised it wasn't worse. I honestly was expecting to see the chassis bent, or something, or the front shock towers blown apart. But, you know, $60 is basically what I have in parts coming for it. And it's not too bad for that bad of a crash, honestly. It actually fared decently well for it. And I've been having a lot of fun with the Kraton 8S. I was kind of partially regretting buying that thing there for a while, just because I was like scared to take it out. Because it was just like, you know, I was afraid to take it out and break it. Because it just seems so brittle. But now that I've just kind of chucked that to the wayside and just said, well, if it breaks, it breaks. I've been having more fun with it, and that's actually been holding up better. It's the first time I've had things broken in the last 4 runs I've had it out. And I beat on it pretty good. Yeah, I have a set. Where are those? I have a set of Game Changer fans here. The original plan was I wanted to put them on the Typhon for the speed runs. However, they wouldn't fit underneath the body of those things, was the problem I ran into. I kept trying to find a way to maneuver them in there, and I just couldn't get them in there. Now I think I've decided I'm going to use those things on the Limitless for the speed run car, as I'm going to use the Game Changer fans on that thing, because I do have a little more room to work with in there, and I think it should probably work out perfectly. So they're going to go on there. The Kraton, though, the 8S, I just ordered, because I'm a glutton for punishment sometimes, I just ordered a set of the stock. Actually, no, I ordered a stock motor fan, but I ordered an Alden. I ordered that same fan that you put, I don't remember what car you put that in now, but they were those aluminum ones off of Amazon or eBay. They're like 17 or 18 bucks, but the 35 millimeter ones, they're like different colors. There's red, there's black ones. But anyway, I ordered one of those for my ESC this time. So I'm going to see how I like that. This thing did not seem like it was driving straight the other day. Yeah, that toe in is terrible. I don't know what happened to this one. It's not bent. I don't know how this one got so badly out of camber, but it's really bad. I don't know if you guys can, I'll see if you can see this on camera, but this one, you know, this is straight. This one is massively towed in. I'm not sure what's going on there. But I'm going to crank it out here. I always end up adjusting these the wrong way the first time, so I'm sure it'll work the same way this time. I can't tell. Yes, I am. I'm going the wrong way, of course. I was just testing. I was waiting to see if somebody would call me out. But Alden, how that fan, if you're still in here. Well, now I'm working, I was just finishing up the Kraton 6S V4. The rear diff on this thing, the sun gear blew apart on the inside. So I just put a new sun gear and a new housing and everything in it. So hopefully, so that looking better. I'm hoping this was just the one that was out of tune and I'm not jacking this up too much. I probably should have turned this thing on and made sure the servo was centered. That probably would have been the smart thing to do, huh? Yeah, the pin blew apart. The pin snapped off into 3 pieces. Sorry, I'm sitting here talking and you can't see. Anyway, yeah, the pin inside blew apart into 3 pieces. The sun gear blew apart into 4 pieces. And it was pretty messed up. So I had a whole new set of spider gears, a whole new cup, and new sun gears I put in there. And I put the 100,000 in the back of it because I had the 1 million in the back. And that may have also helped lead to that. I don't know. But yeah. Yeah, I figured that the pin probably busted and that's what blew apart the sun gear. But yeah, the sun gear was in 4 pieces. So she was definitely ground up in there for a little bit. That's a nice dirty battery. These batteries, I've been pretty happy with these things. I mean, the runtime on these things too are great. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. You guys can read it. But anyway, these batteries, I've been pretty impressed with them. I mean, they have been holding up quite well. This one's got like, that one definitely took a nasty hit at some point. It's got a slight little bow to it. Jeez. I know. It's like you can't even see the color of the battery or what the names are. It's just a layer of mud. Alright, so what I do with... I got the controller in here. This has been the best thing I got. Throw whichever stuff I'm going to use for the day in this thing, and it can roll around in my truck. And protected. Next thing I gotta do and stop being cheap about is getting receivers for all the rest of my cars so I can get them all on the DX5 because this thing actually I may have lied. I have a feeling that this was for the Everest. And that doesn't have batteries. I'm just fighting a battle, guys. I'm just fighting a battle. You know how many times I've went to the gas station, leaving to go out for a bash, and I'm like, all right, I gotta pick up more AA's while I'm there, at the store or whatever. I go in, grab a Red Bull, whatever, get gas, get to where I'm going, and go, I forgot batteries once again. And then I play this, the battery game, you know, swapping them from controller to controller. One of these days I'm going to go and remember, and I'm going to pick up like a 24 pack of batteries. But this one's on the Fly Sky. I got the Fly Sky GT3, the Fly Sky GT4. I have some on the Dumbo. I have some on the DX5. It's just a pain. Well, yes. The monkey metal. Yeah, we all love the monkey metal. How's it going, Dave? Hardcore, how's it going, buddy? Alright, well now we'll see. I'm going to set my endpoints back. Because I know I had this thing way jacked up the other day trying to compensate for this. So I want to see... if it actually looks straight. Because this thing was not steering straight right at all. I had to turn this thing all the way to the right, plus 60, to make this thing go straight the other day. And I don't know when or how, because nothing looks bent. All the pillow balls are in the whole way. Like, nothing looks, you know, out of whack. However, it was not steering right at all. This one needs TODOT just a tiny bit. And I think we'll be pretty solid on this now. excited to take this thing back out now that it steers properly and drives a little better. And of course I started going the wrong direction right off the bat. We'll try this again. I think it went like 4 turns in that direction. Doesn't need to go many. It's pretty close. I don't know if you guys can really tell on the overhead. You know, it's kind of hard whenever you're not looking at it in the first person view. But that looks, maybe another turn or 2. It's pretty close. I think I went a little too much, honestly. Now I'm trying to see. How's the weather over there in the UK, Dave? That looks as straight as my eyes can see it. They look like they got just a tiny bit out. They look pretty solid. And my end point, it is zeroed out. So hopefully she's happy this time with the steering. Looks much better. That one was pretty messed up. But I'm going to go over the rest of the screws on this thing, make sure everything else is tight. But I think this was really the only 2 things I had to work on today. Like I said, I was just going to wait to do a live until I had a few more things, but I wanted to get this thing fixed up because I want to take definitely the big rock, maybe take this back out, but I might take the EXB back out and see if I can break a rear diff on that one. But I wanted to get this thing fixed back up again. And I was hoping it was just the that sun gear, and luckily it was, which is good. But now I only got 2 cars broken: the Typhon and the Kraton 8S. Been working on the WL toys, yeah. How are those things been working for you? So this, I also got to do some more fun here and figure, get a little more tuning ideas on these. I know most of the spoilers on these things, these are obviously trimmable depending on how much downforce you want on the front and the rear. I guess if you're going full bore, you probably need to get rid of these, most of the front, at least most of this drop down, just to, so you don't have all that resistance. But again, I don't know. I'm still learning, so this will be a learning process. But like I said, guys, right now, my other ESC, I'm going to throw in there probably tonight or tomorrow. But because I don't have it at my house at the moment. But anyway, I think we're going to take this thing out here because I got this brand new BLX 120 or BLX 2050 in there. And we're going to just throw the 6S system in there for the next week or so until my castle setup comes, and just kind of mess around. Maybe I might throw my old set of hoons on this thing and go out there and just rip it around a little bit until the castle setup comes. Because I'm just itching to take this thing out and give it a rip. But this thing looks awesome. And I definitely should, looking with the height of the body inside of this thing. Let me see if I can, where'd I put the fans? I set the fans somewhere, and now I'm trying to find out where I put the fans. Is it up here? Yeah, here we go. So this is the Game Changer fan that I got. They sent to me. And there's definitely plenty of room in here with being able to get that. I have a heat sink. I don't know if this heat sink's going to work. I might have to get a different one. But even with that on there, there is plenty of room in here for this low profile fan to fit in here. So that's definitely going to go in here. I got a couple of the tiny little 1500 milliamp 3S lipos. You know, I can mount up in here to run this thing to help keep this thing cool. But it's a nice fan, really nice, little low profile Game Changers. These things push some serious air, that's for sure. Should help keep this thing cool. But that will be soon. Very, very soon here. I'm hoping that the motor ESC show up earlier and surprise me. However, we all know how the mail system and delivery and all the back order stuff has been. It kind of gets... You get your hopes up, so I kind of just didn't even get my hopes up. I just put it in my head that, you know, this isn't something a normal one of my bashers I'm going to go out there and fly. It's going to kind of be a little bit of a project, you know, mess around with it. I'm going to get the castle set up in here. Do that, see what kind of speeds we can get to with the pinion I have, and then we can start working on gearing and other aerodynamics. Can't wait. You know, I was been watching some of Chris Woodward's videos and some of these guys with the speed runs and Earl. You know, what they've been doing with their cars. And, you know, I've seen those active spoilers they make for these things and the carbon fiber bodies. I mean, I know that it's all kind of aesthetic stuff. The spoiler is kind of cool, though. That active spoiler that they have for these things that run on the servo is pretty neat. But lots of possibilities, definitely. And cool looking car. Definitely digging it. So it's going to be fun. Not going to get crazy with speed run stuff, but there will be some occasional videos with kind of the progress and things we're doing with that. Checking out some of your comments here for a moment. Hey Joe, you back? I had the 185 burst, the caps and oh geez. Yeah, I know, and I'm sure Alan, you're probably thinking, why would you even bother putting that in there? But I was just wanting to see if the car or aerodynamics would make any difference in getting that thing, you know, faster than the Typhon 6S was kind of my wondering. But I mean, weight-wise, it's a heavier car, that's for sure. It's definitely got more weight. I mean, this thing doesn't even have the ESC and stuff in it. It is a little heavier than the Typhon 6S, but definitely a little more aerodynamic, lower to the ground. So Earl says that the Basher Queen carbon stuff from Kimberly is really strong. Yeah, speaking of Basher stuff, I need to find... I know we were just talking about this, but the... bring it back over here. I need to find another body for the X-Maxx. And, you know, I'm thinking about buying one of those indestructible bodies, but those ones seem like they're the ones that are always blowing off the car after every hard landing. They always fly off the car. Because you have the flex, and they're not braking, that they're always coming disconnected from the car. And I really don't feel like having to snap and retrieve a body after every single jump. So, I don't know. I mean, I know I've seen some guys, Kevin Talbot run tape around his just to keep them from doing that. But that seems kind of, you know, not a lot of fun to have to do that. But I also don't want to deal with the bodies completely exploding, you know, like that one is now. But I think that is about it. I don't think I really got anything else I need to work on. Like I said, I got my Typhon 6S parts coming from the UK. Waiting a little bit for that. But everything else besides that and the Kraton 8S are working. This boat, I had this thing out again the other day. This thing is a blast. I didn't really think I was going to have fun with a boat. But this thing is a good time. But anyway, guys, I think that's probably going to do it for the video today. Or not for the video, but the live stream for the day. I got everything pretty much fixed up that I wanted to or could get fixed up. Everything else is working. The Rift. Also, guys, the Rift, if any of you guys are have one or curious about them, the new axles that they are supplying with those now or sending people, that thing I just put together yesterday. I was out with the Rift and the Everest. And I mean, I was launching that Rift up these trees. It was kind of comical. But I mean, beat the snot out of that Rift yesterday. And I mean, that thing held up like a champ. Thing has been a blast. So the new axles on that thing definitely are a lot better than the stock ones on the first version of axles. Because the first version snapped like toothpicks. And were kind of disappointing. But the new ones so far are holding up awesome. And I mean, it came down from, 15, 20 feet in the air, coming down kind of sideways or on its side when the axles held up great. So I think the new versions are pretty decent. What's up, Slabby? They did. I mean, the time I broke mine, I was disappointed on how easily that thing broke. I mean, it literally just went up. I tried to climb a hill. It rolled back down and snapped right off. I mean, you could look at it the wrong way or breathe on it the wrong way, and those stock ones were breaking. But whatever the new compound is, I mean, the new ones don't physically look any different. But they said that they changed, when I talked to the guy at Axial, he said that they changed the materials and a little bit of the casting with the inside. And whatever they did, it made a big difference because, I mean, this thing now is holding up awesome. And I also have been changing out, and I broke one of these links on the bottom of this thing. I broke one of these links. Trying to find these right now were slim to none. I couldn't find any anywhere. But I had a bunch of these Traxxas links that fit on there perfectly. They don't have that weird little bend to them. But it doesn't seem to matter. They're still working great. Not having any issues with it. And doing this sway bar on this thing also made a huge difference. I mean, in the handling of this thing and its climbing capabilities and stuff. The sway bar made a great addition to it. Yeah, the Rift is a blast, Rift, you need a Rift. This thing's a great time. I mean, it's fun just to cruise around. I mean, they jump great. You got to stay on the gas whenever you are jumping it because of the braking. It'll immediately, obviously, nosedive. But they jump nice. I'm really impressed with it. All right, guys. Well, I think I am going to head out here. I got a little bit of errands I got to run before the end of the day here. I'm going to get some batteries charging up, I think, now, and get some batteries charging up and get ready for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to hopefully plan is to take out the Granite, the Big Rock, and probably the Kraton 4S, and just kind of have, and a Typhon 3S, kind of have a little 3S, 4S day, have a little fun with that stuff. Yes, you do. Rift needs a Rift. It's perfect. Come check out Rift's new Rift. Hey, give me a set. Wait, what are you going to make molds of now, Alden? Joe. LMT needs them. I missed some comments here. What did you make your own of, Joe? I think I missed something here. Trying to read through here and see what I missed. Alan, some of that stuff you've been casting lately, really nice stuff, dude. Oh, I would definitely buy a set of aluminum axle housings. That'd be kind of cool. How are the center drive shafts? The drive shafts on the Rift are holding up great. I thought they were going to break just by looking at them at first when I got them. When I bought them at my local hobby shop, and when I bought the thing, I said, you have extra drive shafts for this thing. And he's like, no, they don't. He says, but he has any problems with them. And I mean, I've come down with that thing full blast open. And those drive shafts, whatever they're made out of, are pretty strong, honestly. I was going to put, a set of aluminum or metal ones on that thing. But, I mean, they're holding up awesome. They're a two-piece, design. Show you if you can see. I know I keep saying I'm about to go here, but kind of getting sidetracked. But there's, I don't know if you can see this really, but anyway, there's a centerpiece. So there's two different housing. There's the front piece and the back piece, and then just a little slider piece in between that connects them together. And whatever material they made them out of, it's holding up really great. So I got no complaints on the drive shafts. They've been taking a lot of abuse for sure. But all right, guys. Well, this time I think we're gonna say goodbye. I appreciate everybody stopping by and saying hello and joining in today. Got a few cars fixed up. Get ready to head back out tomorrow and have some more fun. But, yeah, you guys will get to see, actually, not tomorrow. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Friday. I think Friday will be the video I'll release on this Kraton 8S. You guys will get to see what happened to that poor thing. It surprised me. It launched and caught a lot more distance in air than I thought it was going to, and it ended badly. But I appreciate y'all stopping in and saying hello, and always for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. But that's going to do it. So I will see you guys in the next video, in the next stream. I'm home for, like I said, for the next week here, so we might do another stream whenever I get the parts for the Kraton and the Typhon. We might work on that stuff, so maybe I'll see you in the next one, guys. So, till next time, y'all, be safe. Be careful out there. Peace out, everybody.